There he is.
What's up, man?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, we did it.
Yes, sir. We're here. We're here. It's a beautiful Thursday.
It is.
Indeed. Listen, Joshua Leonard, you're in the building. First and foremost, thank you for jumping on the platform. Thank you for joining me on the Lo Theory.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Seriously. We had this, we've been talking for a while now, trying to get this popping. I feel like we connected off the strength of Jay Weave.
Yeah.
But, since I've been following you, I've been a huge fan of your work. So it's only right that I had to have you on the platform, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. Now, for those who are not familiar with you, why don't you go ahead and just give them a short introduction, and then we can kick it off, bro.
Oh, man. My name is Joshua Leonard. I'm a military brat. I'm a character designer for Illumination currently, working on a film. I'm born in Miami. I lived in D.C., Alaska, DMV area, and then Biloxi, Mississippi. So I'm in Atlanta from Hurricane Katrina. Graduated from the Art Institute in 2018. But I'm mainly known for my cartoon Team Supreme, which is what y'all see behind me, which is about a group of kids who have a disability, but the disability doubles as their superpower. So
yes.
Yeah, that's where we at right now.
We're gonna touch on that. We're definitely gonna touch on that. All right, let's kick it off, man. So for those, like I said, who are not familiar with you, maybe there's a bunch of people who are tuning in right now who are, but I want to know these things. When did you start drawing? When did that happen? When did the spark happen? With the pen and the pad.
Yeah, kindergarten for sure, man. My older brother taught me how to draw. His name is Jason, and he taught me how to draw Garfield when I was young, man. And ever since then, I just never
with the triangles.
Yeah,
you got to get the triangles right when you're drawing Garfield.
The triangles in the ears.
Yes.
Yeah. So my older brother taught me how to draw. He passed last year from pneumonia, so that was the gift for me, man. Thank you.
Definitely. Okay, so early on, as you got a little bit older, obviously kindergarten, fresh, very young start. But as you got older, let me ask the question: Was hip hop an influence? When you're growing up, you start seeing, and hip hop is the culture. Are you seeing graffiti? Are you seeing b-boys? Are you seeing rapper? Is hip hop an influence?
Yeah, so it's different from my family. I grew up in a real religious household, so we had to sneak and listen. But
yes,
yeah, for sure, man. I love hip hop. I love rap music. I love R&B. I love music in general, man. I love good music in general. So yeah, that definitely had a big upbringing for me, and and I did music myself. So it was all good, man. It was part of the family.
Okay. So
and me and my brothers, we played instruments. Everybody played an instrument or sang or we all
really?
did something, man. Yeah.
So you're saying besides the instruments, you said you dabbled in music a little bit.
Dabbled in music. I used to sing, man. I did R&B, sang on rappers' hooks. Shout out to my boy QZ. He was the rapper. We toured. Been in Vibe magazine in 2007. Like I was telling you, man, I got the
word.
So 2007 issue. I remember when this thing came out, man. I just remember buying every single copy off the shelf, man.
So MJB's on the cover.
So that's where the name J5 comes from. For people who don't know, that's a fake cigar. I don't smoke, don't drink, don't smoke. But
beautiful. So you're featured in. You said 2007.
2007 issue, especially all my food just came too.
Listen, go get that. You don't want that to sit outside. You want to go get that?
Yeah.
Because if your food sits outside, that's a problem. Go get your food. You guys know what I'm talking about, man. Listen, put a number one up in the air if you're rocking with this interview so far. We're talking to Joshua Leonard. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? This is
sir.
episode 37 of the
Look,
Lo
hey,
Theory.
food and a package just came from Leonard Studios. So that's I ordered a hat for somebody, man. You don't know it's coming. Little young brother that I got for the birthday. So he gonna be excited.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So so we were talking about you, you used to sing, you did some hooks for some rappers. You were featured in the 2007 Vibe magazine with MJB,
Yeah.
you know, the Queen. What was that? I mean, listen, you dabbled in music, but and you were drawing. Like, what made you kind of take that road to kind of pursue art a little bit more than music?
Yeah. So one thing about me, I do not believe in wasting talent. That's a big pet peeve of mine, and I don't like when people do it either. So whatever I was good at, I was gonna at least try it. You know. So I played a bunch of sports, hockey, anything that I could be physical. I did the music thing. I played saxophone, played piano. Not good at the saxophone. You know, I play piano a little bit by ear, but I used to produce all of that stuff, man. So
That's dope.
I just felt like whatever I was good at, I wanted to try it. I don't like to waste talent.
Yeah. Let me ask you the question. You know, early on, art and music has an influence in your life. Tell me right now, if you could think off the top of your head, which album was your personal has your personal favorite cover art? For example, for me, like growing up, when I saw Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style album, whoa,
Yeah.
that cover is kind of crazy. Like I still remember it. And another one I'm gonna mention, and then you could tell me yours. This is not necessarily art, but it's a cover album that I remember. For me, it's considered art. Nas's Illmatic,
Yep.
like the photo of him as a child.
Yeah.
Even though it's a picture, I consider that art. Like, tell me some of your favorite album art covers.
Yeah, so I got two off the top. And me and you spoke earlier. You know, Busta Rhymes is my favorite rapper. So the Violator album cover with the artwork. When I see it, I'm like, bro, this is something I would do, man. Like this hard right here. So definitely the Violator, both volume 1 and 2, but
Definitely
Michael Jackson Thriller, man. Like stuff like that. That was hard to me, man. Yeah. Seeing all the monsters behind them and stuff, super dope. And I love the creativity of both.
That's a great
the simplicity of Nas's album cover. It was simple, you know, it was simple, but we got it.
Yeah, it was simple, but it made it's even till this day you see people wearing T-shirts of that cover, you know, so it made a big impact, man. So
Biggie's too. Biggie.
Yeah, with the baby, with the baby, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, you said that you went to the Art Institute of Atlanta, correct?
Yep.
Now, you're drawing, but did you study animation there as well?
I studied animation. So before Hurricane Katrina, I was a graphic design. That was my major, graphic design. So still really good at that. I still love graphic design. But when I lived in Biloxi, Mississippi, there's really no animation in Mississippi other than like working at a casino or something. So the Hurricane Katrina was like a gift and a curse for me because it got me out of, and I loved it. Biloxi is dope. Mississippi's cool, man. But I needed more, man. So I came out to Atlanta, seen Turner, you know, CNN, building all of that stuff, Cartoon Network. So I was like, man, I need to be in a, you know, this needs to happen for me. So got to the Art Institute, saw that they had animation, almost went to SCAD, but I wasn't about to pay that much money, man. But yeah, graduated 2018 with a bachelor's degree with animation, media arts.
Wow.
Graduated for the 4.0 too, man.
That's incredible, man. Seriously, 4.0 is not an easy thing to get. Now, what do you think was the like how challenging was that to transition from, you know, just drawing to actually animating? Was that a hard transition or was it something easy to do?
Nah, and I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, I had a late start to get into the animation part, so I was one of the older kids in the class and all of that. You know, I'm 33 and
Mm-hmm.
in there with 18-year-olds. So I already had the upper hand as an illustrator just because I've
Right.
drawn my whole life. So drawing and then transitioning into animation is my background helped me. My illustration background
Mm-hmm.
helped me. Like you said, the triangles drawing Garfield, man. So that helped me
Right.
to
Right.
kind of move forward. But yeah, it was a good. It was all about that timing, man. Like back then, I wasn't ready. When I came out here, I was ready.
Okay. Okay. Kind of a side note, because I was thinking that because I draw a little bit, but animating must be something different. But a side note is essentially how important is self branding in the art world?
Really good question. It's crucial in the art world, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
because even when I went to the Art Institute, shout out to President Mavet. He was the president while I was there, and he kind of pulled me to the side. He's like, "Look, man, if you go here, this doesn't mean you're gonna get a job at Disney, all of that. You can
Mm.
do it. You have to brand yourself." So it
Mm.
really resonated with me, and after that, man, it was all business from there on out, man. Suits, whatever it was, tank top stuff where people would notice me and notice
Mm-hmm.
my artwork. You know what I mean? I sat right in the front of every class, got A's. Like if you saw me, you wouldn't think I was a straight A student in there and stuff like that. The Miami hat on, but I earned the respect of my teachers and probably my peers just because I went in there with like that business mind. We paying that much money for college. We need to go, put it out there, put everything we have out there. So
Absolutely.
that was my mentality, man. And I went with that brand. And I still had that type of mentality even today. You see I'm in suits and everything like I'm trying to do something different as it pertains to what an animator looks like and what you think an animator would look like or a character designer would look like
Right.
in this industry, man. But at the end of the day, I just love suits. I like to be clean as well.
Right.
So it just
Absolutely.
so happens I'm pretty cool. That's all.
No, 100%. There's nothing wrong with switching it up for high fashion. A suit is
Yeah.
great. A fitted cap is wonderful for
Right.
sure. Now, yeah, and I see you're even still, like you said, to this day, you're still brand. You got the cap that says Team Supreme, which is,
Yeah.
something that you're working on. We're gonna dive in that in a second, but I wanted to ask you the question. So, you've worked with some big corporations, Netflix, Nickelodeon,
Hmm.
now Illumination, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So for people who are not familiar, they're the company that kind of created Despicable Me, the
Yeah.
Minions. How is it working with these big corps? Like you graduated, now you work. What's that feeling? What is it like to work for these big companies?
It's dope, man. And shout out to all of them that gave me the opportunity, man. Nickelodeon, Sony, Baobab Studios. I worked with a lot. I just got done doing a project with Omar Dorsey, who was just in the
Mm-hmm.
Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's shout out to everybody that gave me the opportunity. But it is you're excited, but at the same time, I'm very confident. So you
Mm-hmm.
work hard for these results. So it's not a surprise. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
matter of okay, when is it gonna be my time? When's it gonna be
Right.
my turn? So that's kind of the mentality I have, and I'm very grateful. Even working with Illumination, I always let them know, man, I appreciate y'all. I worked with Netflix twice on two projects. They did a movie,
Oh.
um, worked on a film, did some character design work on a film, and then they brought me back a couple months later for another show. So they didn't have to do that, but you try to take
Man.
pride in your work, man, and put your best foot forward. That way they can come back and be like, yeah, I remember Josh was dope, man. And not only was he dope, he was easy to work with. He had a great attitude. His mentality was dope. Everybody loved working with him. So that's kind of where my mindset is.
It's almost like you drew the parallel from school when you were sitting in the front of the class, making sure the teachers knew and saw who you were, to
Yeah,
like now working for these big corporations where you're making sure that the higher ups see who you are and see your talent. So I see how you kind of drew that parallel. Now, let's dive in. We want to talk about Team Supreme. It's a cartoon that you, like you mentioned, that you created that I personally think the idea is amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. It's based around a bunch of kids who have these these disabilities,
Yeah.
but they also have superpowers.
Right.
Okay, tell us a little bit about how you thought about this idea, and how it came to be.
Yeah, man, real good question. So I had the idea around 2009. Me being a military brat, you get to meet everybody, all types of people, black,
Yes.
white, different nationalities. And it was dope for me, man. You know, like I said, you go from Miami to Alaska, from Alaska to DC, and living in Alaska, you meet Eskimo kids, like stuff. Like my childhood was crazy, man.
Wow.
But it was dope, and then you get to meet people that have a disability. So I was working at Home Depot. I think it's like 2005, and that's when the word autism was brought to my attention. I didn't know it. Most people are ignorant towards these, these terminology and things like that. So I remember working with my boy Todd. Shout out to Todd. His son has autism, and he's breaking it down. He's like, yeah, what that means, he's good at this. He may have behavioral problems, but he can watch a Disney movie, and when he rewatches it, he can memorize everybody that worked on the movie, and then go back and watch the movie, and like place
Wow.
everything with like this character, this person did this person, and I'm here now. I'm like, man, what? And automatically, it's like, bro, that's a superpower, man. Like I think I'm okay. I have a little bit of intelligence, but when you hear things like that, man, it's really fascinating, man. And I started to fall in love with it, man. So I'm learning more about these certain disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
neuroplasticity, which I didn't know what that meant until I started working with doctors and actually people who have, amputees and things like that. And somebody who is deaf or blind, neuroplasticity is when the brain actually, like if my arm is gone, the brain will move all of this. It'll work around that to make something else more powerful. And
Wow.
and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
this is easy. I don't even have to write nothing. The superpower's already there.
Amazing.
It was that simple for me, man. So as I started to just do this research, I'm like, bro, this is dope, man. This is dope. I wonder why nobody has ever done Stan Lee with Daredevil. There's a few of them. But I wanted to create like a whole team and a whole universe of all of these people that have, these super villains and superheroes with disabilities, just dope characters. And that's kind of where it came from, man. I just want to touch on every single one of them.
Right. So what's the you got a couple different characters right now, right? And I'm assuming, I think I did a little research, but in the back, is that Zeke in the back?
Yeah, that's Zeke. That's my main character. He has
Okay.
autism. So here's I'm still going off of why I created it. So me being black, I didn't see too many black people making cartoons in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Floyd Norman, shout out to him, and there's a few, but you didn't see many on TV. And when you did, they usually always looked the same.
Mm-hmm.
Skin complexion was usually wrong, like a greenish looking bright. Like you can tell we weren't we weren't in there. So that's kind of where Team Supreme came from. I wanted to see so much inclusion and diversity for myself. I'm like, bro, not only are they not showing us on camera on animation, TV shows, and movies like that, you rarely see anybody in a wheelchair or just any type of disability. So I was like, I'm gonna go all the way out, and I don't even care. I want to see it for me. So I started doing the research, and that's where all these character designs come from. And 2009, man.
No, you're right about that. I mean, growing up, and I'm sure a lot of people can contest to this, is that you watch these cartoons, like you said, there's not too much diversity in them, until lately. Actually, I think until like literally a couple, like maybe 2 years ago. Now you're starting to see in a Latino movie. You got the Italian with Luca.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Different things, but it wasn't prominent.
Right. It's
you
crazy,
know.
man. Yeah, I mean, they're trying. They're trying. They gave us Soul, but you know, they don't get me started on that one. But it's
Right.
they are trying. I'm unapologetically. I'm gonna be
Do it,
honest.
man.
I'm
Push
gonna
the
be honest,
boundaries,
man.
man. Push
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna be
boundaries.
honest, man. Like if you're gonna give us a black character, stop turning us into animals
Mm,
and spirits, and just give us a black character, man. Give us a black family. Give them a Latino family. Stop doing
yeah.
just like it's
What did
that's where the change has to come in at. And even with when I'm doing character designs for Netflix or Nickelodeon or whatever it is, I'll try to sneak in a character who's disabled just to see, like, oh, okay, we didn't even think of that. Just
right.
to see, because all they can say is yes or no. I'm doing tons of designs, so why not? You know,
I
so if they
love
like the
that. I
design, they like the
love
idea.
that.
But that's my job as a creator and a character designer, man, to kind of try to push that narrative. Now they give us what they want. You know, we have, you know, this character looks like this. So I may sneak this one in there just to show them like this could work as well. You know, and then
I
they the
I
meetings and
love that.
yeah, man, just to see what happens.
So they give you that criteria, but you're over there
Right.
sprinkling in a couple things that they
Yeah.
might not have even thought of.
Right. And they give me freedom. They give me freedom. I work with shout out to Frank Abney at Netflix. I work with him and they had me designing all these characters. Nobody told me to put a gap in the characters. I did that and they loved it. And I think the character actually will have a gap. You know, just things like that, man. Just
Right.
go out of that box
Right.
and try something. All they can say is yes or no. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that about you, man. Keep pushing the boundaries because um children who are watching TV need to see that. They
yeah,
don't need to see just one type of character.
right. And just imagine, man.
Mhm.
Imagine, you know, we look different, you and
Right.
I. But just imagine seeing yourself as a child. I mean, just it's crucial to our
Hmm.
childhood, man. And
Hmm.
sad to say, but I forgot this little young baby's name that passed. I think about a week ago or two. She had autism and she was picked on, you know, and she hung,
Mm.
committed suicide. I forgot this baby's name,
Oh, wow.
but I was telling, you know, I think I was telling Jay Weed, man, I'm like, bro, this is why this has to happen, man. Like, this is a crucial show that must happen because if they see themselves on TV and they know how dope they are and they see how dope they are, that was the whole point of the show, man. Like, Team Supreme is everybody is afraid of what they don't understand. So that's why you have racism and stuff like, you know, hate and all this stuff. Like, we need to, this has to happen, man. We need to show this is what this is. It's a teaching thing as well. The cartoon is gonna be dope, no doubt, but
Right.
it's also a teaching tool
Right.
as well.
Absolutely. We know that the art's going to be amazing because you're a great artist. The storytelling needs to be
Thank you.
there, but
Yeah,
the premise behind it, the overall theme is what's so important. People are saying in the chats
yeah,
absolutely that you need to make it happen. Representation is important. I
yeah.
agree.
And real quick, man. Not only with Team Supreme, like this is gonna be such a diverse show and inclusive. I think my writer is in here, Giselle. Shout out to Giselle. Giselle's
Mm,
actually deaf, so not only
mm,
will, you know, the cartoon be about people with disabilities, like we really gonna have people working on the show that actually had these disabilities. The writers room is
wow.
gonna be full of it. You know what I mean? That's how you gonna make the best stories. That's how you gonna tell the best stories. So, and I feel like that's what the animation industry kind of kept out, and that's where I come in. Like, not disrespectful, but like unapologetically, this has to happen. You want to tell
Hmm.
stories about somebody who's an amputee, you have to have somebody who's an amputee in the writer's room. You know,
Right.
somebody in a wheelchair, you need to see what it's really like to go down some stairs or go up some stairs in a wheelchair, how difficult that is. So that's
Right.
where Team Supreme will be different. Like, our writers room gonna be crazy, man. Everybody working on the show is gonna have either some belief system like I have with these you know, making normalizing being different.
Hmm.
And shout out to Lena and Jason and Hillman Grad and Rishi, everybody I work with, man. It's a blessing, man. So we're gonna make it happen.
You got a strong team behind you. I really
Yeah,
hope that, it gets picked up by somebody.
It will.
It needs
It
to
will.
get picked up. You know what I mean? It's important. It's important. We need to have this. Let's switch gears a little bit, man, because we're almost at the end of this. You know, we keep it short, sweet, and concise.
Yeah.
Now, tell what advice would you give somebody who loves to draw, but right now doesn't understand how they can make money out of this? Right? They might be drawing, but they don't know how to actually make a living or an income out of this. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely make sure like if that's the passion, don't ever stop, because the money, regardless if it comes or not, that's your passion. The money's gonna come if that's your passion. You'll find a way. But I would recommend them find a mentor, and I do that as well. If you got kids that's trying to get into animation and character design and concept art, definitely reach out to them. LinkedIn is huge, and people sleep on LinkedIn, man. Like heavy. And
it's a great platform.
In my interviews, all I did was, I went viral. I go viral on LinkedIn a little bit, but I'll add recruiters. If I want to work at Nickelodeon, I follow Nickelodeon, the company. They're going to show me everybody that works there. They're going to show me all the recruiters.
Hold on, time out.
Yeah.
So you're giving everybody the cheat code right now.
Okay, we need to charge for this.
Exactly. I was going to say,
man,
we might need to. No, go ahead. Continue.
And it is a cheat code. These are gems. But at the end of the day, you have to want it. You got to want it for yourself. I can give all this information away, but they'll still doubt themselves. You know what I mean? Like, if you really want it, you got to do it, man. But I would reach out to I would add all the recruiters. And when they accept it, when I post my artwork, guess what they're going to see? They're going to see my artwork. And they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I remember him. He's decent. And then that's all I did. It helped that I have, Jason and Lena on board as well, but I didn't have them back at the beginning.
Right.
I had a bunch of supporters, so and confidence. So I would definitely, recommend getting a mentor, just having tenacity, man, which is never giving up, man, regardless, by any means necessary, man. So
confidence is key. That's great advice.
Yeah.
Good little cheat code for people who are not familiar, who are not on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is one of those sleeper social platforms. Yeah, it's very helpful.
Very helpful. So, and then also staying humble, man. Staying humble, always trying to learn, grow. That's one thing about me. I feel like I'm okay. I've seen so many dope artists. Like, I'm just trying to get to that level, man. But I'll always never stop learning.
Never stop learning, and information is key. Yep. Information is key. Receiving that info. All right. So, now is your time to kind of like self-plug, tell people where to follow you. Also tell people what you might have going on in the future. Like, can you reveal anything? What do you have going on? And it's your time to shine.
I mean, I can be reached on Instagram. I think is my Instagram on this thing?
It's right there. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram. You'll find all the other websites. Future stuff, man. Just Team Supreme, man. And the stuff I'm doing for Illumination.
What's the @name for Team Supreme so they can follow it?
It's @Team Supreme Cartoon. So, and that's on my main Joshua Leonard page as well. So you'll be able to find all of that, websites for merchandise, all of that. I really don't have any plugs, man. Like I said, we getting ready to start pitching.
Yes.
And so I'm excited about that, man. Really excited.
Yes, I love that. But listen, everybody who's on here, everybody who's following Joshua Leonard right now, give them that good energy so Team Supreme can get picked up. You know what I mean? Because that's what it is. Because not one person can do something by their own. They need a strong foundation. So let's go and support Joshua Leonard right now. Bro, thank you for joining me on the Lo Theory. Man, I know that we can chop it up for like another hour or two. We can do that.
I got time, man.
I know we could. But I appreciate you, man. Maybe we might have you jump on again for another episode. But for the meantime, man, thank you for tonight. And, I wish you much success, brother.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate y'all for having me. Thank y'all for listening in.
Absolutely, bro. Take care.
All right, brother. You too.
Peace.
Peace.